For decades, there's been this one acronym that's basically run big business, ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. But what if that central idea, that planning part, is actually what's holding companies back now? Today, we're diving into a pretty radical new vision from Professionals Lobby, one that says it's time to end planning as we know it.
Wow, it doesn't get much bolder than that, does it? This isn't just about a software update. No, this is a full-on declaration that the old way of doing things is officially over. What Professionals Lobby is arguing is that in our new age of AI, the entire philosophy behind these massive enterprise systems has got to change.
So why is planning suddenly a bad word? Well, the argument is actually pretty simple. The world is just moving way too fast for systems that were built to, create a report that some human then has to read and then decide what to do.
Okay, so take a look at this timeline. What's so interesting here is how it frames the whole story. ERP was an absolutely brilliant solution for its time, for the 90s, pulling all these different departments together for the first time. But look at that last step, ERA. The whole game changes. We're not talking about planning anymore. We're talking about executing and optimizing. And get this, autonomously. It is a complete redefinition of what the system is even for.
And this slide right here just nails the core problem. On one side, you've got your traditional planning system. It takes hours, maybe even days, to get from data to an actual action. But on the other side, market reality. Things happen in seconds, minutes. That delay, that speed gap, that's where you lose. A system that only plans is basically just telling you about history by the time you can do anything about it.
Okay, so if planning is the problem, what do we do? The answer isn't just to plan better. It's about a total shift in thinking, a move to a world of real-time, intelligent automation.
And that brings us to ERA, Enterprise Resource Automation. And listen to the keywords here: automate decision preparation, operational execution, and strategic foresight. See, this isn't a system that just tells you what happened yesterday. It's designed to figure out what to do next and just do it.
I gotta say, I love this quote. It's just perfect. ERP, that was your rearview mirror, super useful for seeing the road you just traveled. But ER, that's the autopilot. It's actually steering the car, handling the immediate twists and turns so you can keep your eyes on the destination way up ahead.
This table really lays it all out, side by side. Just look at the roll row. We go from supports decisions to executes decisions. That's a massive leap. Or how about human effort? From high, all that data entry and clicking approve, to minimal oversight. It really boils down to this. ERP helped you do things right. ERA is all about automatically doing the right things.
Okay, this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But what does it actually look like when the rubber hits the road? Let's check out our real-world example to see just how big of a deal this is.
All right, imagine you're on a sales team. A new lead pops up on your website. Now, in the old world, a person has to jump on that, start digging for info, build a proposal. But with ERA, the system just takes over instantly. It grabs the lead, it analyzes all the customer history, current market pricing, and it generates a complete proposal. All the salesperson has to do is give it a final look over and hit send. And you can imagine the same logic applied to everything, right? Instantly rerouting a supply chain, proactively solving a customer issue before they even complain.
And here's the kicker. That whole process, the one that used to take a highly skilled person 4 hours to do, it's now done in 15 minutes. That's not just a little bit faster. That is a complete game changer. This is how you get rid of that speed gap we talked about. You free up your best people from the busy work so they can actually focus on what humans are great at.
Okay, but this is where it gets really, really interesting. Because if the system is doing all of this heavy lifting, what's left for us, for the people?
Yeah, that's the big question on everyone's mind, right? When we hear automation, our brains immediately jump to replacement. But the whole idea behind ERA is actually something totally different.
This slide really breaks down how our jobs are meant to evolve. We're moving out of what they called the user era, where we're stuck doing data entry, routing approvals, just reacting to what the algorithm tells us. And we're moving into the director era. Here, your job is all about strategic oversight, handling those tricky exceptions the machine can't figure out, and focusing on true innovation. You're not feeding the machine anymore, you're directing it.
And to really get our heads around this new relationship, we need some new ways of thinking about it, some new metaphors. Like, think of the AI as your infinite intern. It works 24/7, never gets tired, and you can give it an infinite amount of work. Or as the friction eraser, just smoothing out all those annoying administrative bumps in the road. My favorite, though, is the silent partner, just working away in the background, anticipating what you need and getting it done before you even have to ask.
So here's the absolute key takeaway. The whole point of this, according to the ERA philosophy, isn't about replacement. It's about liberation. It's about freeing up human brain power from the boring, repetitive stuff so we can finally focus on creativity, strategy, and complex problem solving. You know, all the things we're actually good at.
All right, so where does this all lead? If we take this idea and follow it out to its logical conclusion, the future of how companies operate starts to look, well, radically different.
The vision goes way beyond just automating simple tasks. We are talking about a future of true autonomous enterprise intelligence. I mean, just try to imagine this. Systems that can negotiate contracts with suppliers all by themselves. Or a company's entire workflow that just self-optimizes in real time based on what's happening in the market. The business itself becomes a living, adapting thing.
And that really brings us to the final, big question that this whole paradigm shift puts right in front of us. As these systems go from being passive tools to being active performers, our role has to change with them. Look, automation isn't some far-off concept anymore. It's here. So the only real question left is the one you see right here. The system is the performer. Are you ready to be the director?